Hello everybody, and a very warm welcome to this bite-sized session looking at the challenges currently being faced by conveyancers. Well, it's certainly clear from recent market data that there is a downturn in the property market, with estate agents laying off staff, developers not meeting build targets, and buyers holding off decisions due to the cost of living crisis. We've also got recent data showing that in 2023, there was an annual reduction of property sold totaling £141 billion. So we've already got issues that clearly are hitting those of you in the property market. But what are the other challenges? Well, in terms of money laundering compliance, and that seems to be one of the real major ones. And there's a number of issues within that we need to be looking at and being aware of. CDD failures, so failing to carry out appropriate client due diligence, is very much up there, and we have seen the SRA taking action against firms that haven't carried out appropriate CDD on their clients. We've also seen the SRA taking action against firms who have non-compliant firm-wide risk assessments and also the client and matter risk assessments. So again, really need to focus on making sure that they are where they need to be. There also seems to be concerns around the source of funds and source of wealth checks as well. So make sure you're fully aware of of those. And we've also seen, as I've already mentioned, recent SRA fines for breaches of the money laundering regulations, ranging from £3,203 to £500,000. You might think, well, how do we get to sort of £3,203? Well, of course, the SRA now is using its fining powers based on the turnover of firms and also the salaries and income of individuals. So you will now see things like £3,203 and 44 pence and things like that. The other thing that we've got to sort of bear in mind is that the SRA is looking to get unlimited fining powers in due course. So we could see even higher fines than that. Moving on, we've obviously got a lot of issues going on around the home buying and selling reforms. And what I would suggest is, if you want to get a wider picture of what's going on in relation to those, is have a look at the LinkedIn group, Property Lawyers Action Group, and also the Bold Legal Forum, because there's certainly a lot of conveyancing practitioners giving their thoughts in relation to this particular area. We've then got risks for conveyancers around the Building Safety Act and climate change. And certainly, I really feel for conveyancers. At the end of the day, they didn't want to come into the market to sort of be risk managers and risk assessors, but that seems to be where they're being placed. So as I say, I feel really sorry for them there. And as a consequence of all of these risks that are being put onto and liabilities that are being put onto firms, a lot of them are turning around and saying, well, we don't know what we should be looking out for. We're not happy for our indemnity insurers, and therefore we're just not going to participate in anything that puts us to an exposure that we really don't need to expose ourselves to. One of the big issues that I see again on the various forums is the raising of poor inquiries. And certainly I was having a look recently at the Bold Legal Forum, and there are hundreds and hundreds of inquiries that have been put on there that have certainly been very questionable, and also firms saying, should we be reporting these particular firms to CQS because they're clearly in breach of the CQS protocol. So have a look at those and make sure that you're doing all the right things. Suffice to say that this area has been highlighted in the new CQS training for 2024. So make sure you're updated in relation to that. And of course, we've then got the pressures coming from the professional indemnity insurers side of things. Conveyancing still being seen and will continue to be seen as very high risk. And as a consequence of that, we will be seeing high premiums continuing. I don't think there's going to be any relaxation in the premiums, and certainly in terms of discounts, I wouldn't be looking at those for conveyancing work. And finally, of course, we've got the leasehold and freehold reform issues going on at the moment, and so firms dealing with those really need to keep up to speed with the bills and other things that are going through Parliament at the moment, and make sure that they are keeping on top of that and giving their staff appropriate training as and when things come into force. So that was very much a bite-sized session, as I say. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the week. Thanks very much for listening. Bye-bye.